Hi there, this is Michael Becker, and this is a quick video I'm going to do for one of our YouTube community members who had asked a question about how do you automate an OnAdd. That actually wasn't his question. His question was, how do I go about dragging a note on top of another note and having that note become a person or some other form of take on some other form of attribute. But effectively, that's what he meant. How do I do an OnAdd function in Tinderbox? So in this video, I'm going to show you how that works. So let me go ahead and share with you. So I've got an open Tinderbox file here. And let's say we've got a company called Identity Praxis, Inc. Okay. And let's also say that I've got another note of a person called Michael Becker. And what I want to do is I want to, one, have this Identity Praxis note be seen as companies, give it the flavor of a company. And I want to have Michael Becker be the flavor of the people. And I want to be automating some of that work that goes on. So let me show you a process and how we're going to do that. I'm going to go to prototypes and I'm going to create a prototype called person. I'm just going to use the built-in prototype and I'll leave that alone. I'm now going to click in here and create a new one called porg, or for organization or company. And I'm going to give it a couple attributes. I'm going to put in a URL, the organization name, and let's also put in let's say the OnAdd function. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of what we call action code in Tinderbox. So I'm going to say prototype equals person, and then I'm going to say organization equals name parent. Okay. Now this is super simple, and we could do it a lot more advanced ways about going this. But let me explain what's going to happen. So when you have an OnAdd function on a prototype, or frankly any note for that matter, but by doing it on a prototype helps you automate it for all notes that have inherited that value called that prototype called porg, for example, in this example. So you see, I'm going to say prototype person. So when I drop a note onto that prototype person, I want you to when I drop a note onto that prototype organization, I want you to assign the person prototype to that note. And then finally, I want you to assign the name of the parent note, in this case, the company, to that person. So let me show you exactly how that works. So watch what's going to happen. I've got a company called Identity Praxis. And let's create another note. We'll say someone else. All right. So if I go ahead and just drag that onto Identity Praxis, it says someone else. Nothing happens. Now watch what happens. We're going to assign the organization prototype to Identity Praxis. It immediately took on that note. So I'll go ahead and say identitypraxis.com, give it a URL, go ahead and copy in the organization value just for fun to complete it out. And then now watch what happens. Because we have the OnAdd function in the Identity Praxis prototype here, all I need to go is drag Michael Becker on, and look what happens. Michael Becker, unlike someone else, automatically became green. And if I now click in here and take a look, you'll see the company organization Identity Praxis also automatically populated. Likewise, if I go in here and type J. O'Sullivan, right? J automatically became a person and automatically typed that in. And then the other thing too is, check this out. It doesn't just have to happen in map view. If I'm in outline view and I've got a company Identity Praxis, I can also type someone else. So let's give a nod to my ever-present advisor, Mark Anderson, when it comes to doing notes and learning Tinderbox. So you see Mark Anderson has automatically taken on the Identity Praxis name and not, and so we can go ahead and change that or delete that or move that around. Now if I'm in outline view and I create another note, you'll see, let's go ahead and do Mark Anderson again just for fun. You'll see when I added another note at the same level as Identity Praxis, it didn't work, but if I tab in, he automatically becomes a person. So that's the way OnAdd function works. It can work with a whole bunch of different prototype strategies, prototypes, action code. You'd be amazed by some of the complexity of the action code I've built into my files to make something like this work and be really useful for my workflows. But Christopher, you asked, and the answer is yes. It can do exactly what you were asking for. So thank you very much for the ideas, and we'll talk to you later. And as always, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Bye-bye.